Hi, I'm Bailee, aka The Vegetarian Guide, and in this video we're going to be talking about the 10 most common mistakes new vegetarians make and how you can avoid them. Let's get started. Starting a vegetarian diet is new and exciting. You have all of this motivation and you're ready to make this lifestyle work for you. Awesome. But I want you to be aware that there are some common mistakes that I see new beginner vegetarians making all the time. And I want you to avoid these mistakes so that you can continue with this lifestyle you really want and make it work for you long term. Mistake number one, and this is the biggest one that I see happening, is that you try to transition to a vegetarian diet overnight or from one day to the next instead of easing into it. I get it. You're totally excited. You just watched that documentary. You've been thinking about this for a long time, and now is the time. You shall now and forever be a vegetarian from today. I understand that. I did that myself when I first started going vegetarian, and spoiler alert, it didn't really work out for me. After a couple weeks, I ended up giving up, and it took me about a year to get back on track and to start my vegetarian diet again. The problem when you try to transition too quickly is that you don't give yourself or your body time to acclimate to this new diet. Because like I said, this is a lifestyle. It's not just changing what you eat. So my best advice for avoiding this mistake is to ease into your diet. And that means cutting meat out slowly so that you have time to learn new recipes, to build these habits that are going to make it last long term. And it also gives your body time to adjust so you don't experience bloating or some other uncomfortable symptoms that can come when you try to transition too quickly. One way that you can do this is to cut out the amount of meals that you're eating with meat in it. Maybe you want to start with a meatless Monday and then you work up to more and more days where you're not eating meat. Or the other way you can do it is to cut out the types of meat that you're eating at a time. This is the way that I did it. I started by cutting beef for a couple weeks and then I moved to cutting pork for a couple weeks. And that was what really did it for me. That made it easier for me to transition completely into a vegetarian diet. And that's what I recommend that you do too, if you want to avoid the mistake of burning out too quickly from jumping in too fast. Mistake number two is trying to do this all by yourself without a support system. Having support is going to be super important for you on your vegetarian journey. This is going to be a journey that might take you several weeks, several months, and you're going to want people there in your corner to help you along the way. These could be cheerleaders and people that are supporting you, or they could be butt kickers that are helping to hold you accountable to the goals that you've set for yourself. I recommend that you find support from either family or friends, or even better is if you can find support from other people who are currently going through the vegetarian transition themselves or other vegetarians. If you're really looking for a great community of support, you can hop into our Easy Beginner Vegetarian Facebook group. I will link that in the description below. We would love to have you in there. Find a supportive community that can keep you motivated and lift you up when you have struggles, because they're going to happen. And the more people you have surrounding you and boosting you up, the better your journey is going to go. Mistake number three is not paying enough attention to nutrition. Now, I like to say that once you get going on your vegetarian diet, you really don't have to stress about the nutrition piece too much. If you're eating eggs and dairy and a balance of whole grains and whole foods and getting proteins in, you're going to be fine. You don't have to stress about it so much. However, when you're new and you're learning how to start this journey, it can be important to pay attention that you're getting everything that you need, especially vitamins like protein, iron, and B12. The best thing I can recommend to you is to track your journey in an app like Cronometer, for example, which is a free app. I'll link to that in the description below, for just a week or two, and put in for a while everything that you're eating and see what it says about what nutrition you're getting. Are you missing protein? Are there some vitamins that you're not getting? This is the information that you need to adjust accordingly and make sure that you're getting proper nutrition in your diet. If you have proper nutrition, then you're going to feel great, your body's going to be healthy, and you're going to be able to ride this out long term and have a really, really healthy benefit on your body. If you're not getting the proper nutrition, you're going to feel sluggish, you're going to feel fatigued, you're not going to feel good, and then you're going to give up on your diet because you're going to blame the diet and not the fact that you haven't been doing it properly. Mistake number four is not meal planning. I understand that meal planning, when you say it, it can sound a little bit overwhelming, like you have to be super organized and have lists and schedules and all kinds of things. And I'm not saying that. I'm saying just pick out 4-5 meals maybe that you're going to shop and have in your fridge for the week, and you can mix and match those on whatever day. So if on Monday you want to have pasta, do that. You don't have to lay it out in a military-like fashion. However, having these meals on hand and having things in your fridge that you've already planned out is going to make you less likely to go to the McDonald's drive-thru, for example, or to sit and stare in your refrigerator and think, oh, what should I eat today? Because those are the times when you're going to find yourself giving into temptation, giving into cravings, regretting your diet. You don't want that to happen. You want to have food that's always available to you, that you're going to want to eat, that's going to make you feel good, that you don't have to think about, that you can whip up and enjoy. Similarly, mistake number 5 is not having a plan for how you're going to overcome cravings. Cravings and temptation are going to come up for you. It's totally normal that you're going to have these feelings. Again, if you've been eating meat your entire life, of course you miss some of those familiar flavors and those comfort foods sometimes. However, if you want to stick to this diet long term, you have to know how to overcome those things and stick to your diet. One of the best ways to do that is to have a plan for how you're going to overcome those cravings when they come up, because it's not a question of if, it's a question of when. So if you have a plan, you know what to do. Maybe you need to go into the bathroom and look yourself in the eye in the mirror and say a motto out loud that's going to help you stick to your why you went vegetarian. It's going to remind you of the reasons that you've done it. Maybe you need to have a chocolate bar in the pantry that you can grab when you're feeling really hungry or like you want to give into something else. Whatever your plan is, make sure that you know it ahead of time so that you don't get blindsided when those cravings and temptations come, because they will. Know what you're going to do, how you're going to handle it so that you are prepared to overcome that and to keep going with your diet. Mistake number 6 is overcomplicating your meals in the beginning. I get it that you're super excited about going vegetarian and you've probably been on Pinterest or on Instagram and you've seen all of these fantastic meals that look so good, so many colors, and you really want to give it a try. However, if you've been living on a diet of Hot Pockets and bologna sandwiches or something like that for a long time, and then you go to try to cook all of these elaborate meals, you're going to burn out. You need to give yourself some time to learn these new recipes and to get more creative over time. The most important thing you can do in the beginning is to start with these really super quick and easy recipes. Build up a repertoire of as many of those recipes as you can so that you always have things that you can prepare without having to look at a recipe. Things that you can just whip together, things that you can keep in your cabinets and your fridge that you can always throw together and enjoy. Know that they can feel maybe a little bit boring in the beginning and you want to get to all those fancy Pinterest meals. You'll get there. Start with the basics and work your way up. You don't want to burn out spending an hour in the kitchen every day and then say, vegetarianism is so hard. I'm spending so much money on groceries and I'm spending so much time cooking. It doesn't have to be like that. Start simple and work your way up to more creative and more fun recipes as you go. Mistake number 7 is relying too much on processed fake meats. This is a tough one because when you're going vegetarian, one of the easiest ways that you can start eating foods is to start by getting these processed fake vegetarian meats, the veggie burgers, the fake meatballs, the fake sausages, whatever it is, and just swapping those out for your meat favorites. The problem with this is that these foods are heavily processed. There's a lot of sodium in them. There's a lot of other chemicals and things that aren't so great for your body. Another thing that happens that we'll get to a little bit later is you start comparing your meat favorites to these new things that might not taste quite as good. I would recommend in the beginning that you try to avoid using some of these processed foods as much as possible. It's okay to have them as a treat, the way that you would have like a pizza or a cheeseburger or something in your diet when you were eating meat. You don't do it every day, but every once in a while is fine. Try to focus on having whole foods in your diet to begin with, because it's going to make it easier for you to get proper nutrition. It's going to be easier for you to transition out of those meat flavors and things that you're used to, but still find meals that are satisfying and tasty. Mistake number 8 that I just hinted at is getting into the habit of comparing. Again, you've been eating meat your entire life, and now you're eating this vegetarian food, which is new, it's foreign, and you might find yourself comparing. You might say, that veggie burger I just had is not a real cheeseburger. It's not. Vegetarian food is something completely different, and you need to go into it with that mindset that you're not trying to replace your meat favorites necessarily, but you're trying to find new delicious foods that you like, that are healthier for you, that are better for the environment, that are better for animals. There's a lot of other factors that go into the food that you're eating now. So if you consider that and you try your best not to compare apples to oranges, you're going to be more successful at sticking with your diet. Mistake number 9 is not setting goals and not celebrating your goals. When you're going vegetarian, one of the best ways to stay motivated is to set small, achievable goals for yourself and to celebrate the crap out of them when you achieve them. For example, if you've started easing into your diet, as we've recommended, maybe you want to set a goal for yourself that you're going to eat 3 meatless days this week. If you achieve that, give yourself a big pat on the back or celebrate in some other way. Have your friends over for dinner. Grab a piece of chocolate cake that you've been eyeing at the grocery store. Give yourself something to celebrate the success that you're having. The more you can do that and the more you can build up all of these small goals, achieve them, and then celebrate them, you're going to stay motivated and it's going to keep pushing you to make more and more progress on your diet until eventually it's become your vegetarian lifestyle. The last mistake, number 10, is giving up too quickly. Right now, you are so full of motivation and you want to do this. You know it's the right choice for you. You're going to make it happen. In a couple weeks or a couple days or a couple months, you're going to hit some setbacks. You're going to give into that temptation. You're going to slip up. You're going to ask yourself, why did I do this? Push through. Keep going. I know that you can do this. Slip-ups and mistakes are going to happen. You're human. And it's totally okay. It's normal to make mistakes. The most important thing is that you get back up again and you keep going. Every meal is a chance to do better and to move more towards that ultimate goal of becoming a vegetarian. So please, please, please do not give up. Keep going. Keep finding motivation. Lean on that support system. Keep setting and achieving those goals and celebrating them along the way because you can do this. A vegetarian diet is right for you. You've already made that commitment that you're going to do this for a great reason. Remember that and keep pushing. I know you can do this. So there you have it. Now we've discussed the 10 most common mistakes that new vegetarians make and how you can avoid them. If you want even more resources for your transition to a vegetarian diet, please grab my free Secrets to Vegetarian Success ebook. I will link that in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, cheers to your vegetarian journey.